I've always focused on the paying activities, the basics, the fundamentals, and that's being consistent. Lauren and I were talking on the break at lunch. She said, you know what, Jeff? I'm not going to be running around all over the place. I'm going to set up camp here in Las Vegas, and I'm going to be consistent day in and day out here over a period of time. And I said, that's exactly what I did. But instead of just being a franchisee and staying in Sarasota, I became what you would call almost like a franchisor. I went out and I said, hey, I got the Sarasota area going. How about Fort Lauderdale? Recruited Bob and Sue Burdick. How got Fort Lauderdale going? Worked with them for a while. Duplicated myself. Tell, show, try, do. I tell them, show them. They try it. They do it. They start to get some momentum established. It's sustained. It's advancing. I don't stay there and manage that group. I go to New Orleans. Cheryl Cortese. Go camp out with her for a while. And so on. And then it wasn't only in North America for 5 years. Then it was over in Europe for 5 years. I'm telling you, you can compress an entire lifetime of work in what you do in the next 3 to 5 years. A lifetime in a 3 to 5 year plan of consistent discipline on the paying activities. Here's something that was shared with me by a guy named Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn, anybody? Anybody a fan of Jim? I asked Jim, I said, Jim, share with me, what do you mean by this? A few simple disciplines done consistently over and over equal multiple rewards. He goes, Jeff, it's like anything in life. If you take the product for a day and then you skip it for a week, are you going to get results? He said, but if you take it consistently every day, week after week, month after month, you start to establish, sustain, and advance the momentum with that. It says the same thing with our business. He goes, let me give you a simple discipline. What if I asked you to talk to 3 people a day? I know some of you are busy and, you got families and all these things going on. But if I offered you $100,000 a year to talk to 3 people a day, how many sign up? I'd put 2 arms up, right? 3 a day. Wouldn't that be fairly easy to do? Think about it. 3 a day. It's not a question of ability. It's a question of desire and motivation. Put in your notes, the word hungry. What do I really look for? Somebody that has a hunger. Somebody has a desire. And it could be more than just financially. It could be a lot of areas in your life where you're dissatisfied. But here's the thing. If you did 3 a day, it's easy to do. But what's easy to do is easy what? Not to do. But if you did 3 a day, just talking to 3 people a day, social media, whatever it is, you're just sharing this story 3 times a day. After the first week, would you have a whole lot of momentum in your business? Probably not. Maybe even after the first month you wouldn't. But what if you did that consistently for 12 months? 3 times 365, take Christmas off, 364. You don't have to talk that day, Kenny. That's what? Approximately 1,000 people? Do you think you'd get better at talking to people? Absolutely. Do you think you'd establish some momentum? Do you think some of the distributors would do the same thing you're doing? Distributors don't do what you tell them to do. They do what? They do what you do. You've heard people say, well, Jeff, would you follow you? It's easier to lead than it is to push. Watch the feet, not the lips. So you've got to go out there. And if you do that, other people would start doing that. A simple discipline. You may not hit marketing director that first year or that second year, but if you did that consistently for a few years, National Marketing Director, 39 Club, financial independence is in the bag. And it's just 3 a day. That's simple discipline. And you know what? You can lie to your upline. You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Check the gauges. You got to check the gauges. Well, Jeff, I was busy and, I missed the 3 yesterday, but it's okay. I'll make it up. Well, I just said I was going to give you $100,000 a year, but you got to do 3 every day. That was the deal. You got to be consistent. Anything you're consistent with, you're going to have the results. Conference. What does Jeff Roberti do? How did you build this business, Jeff? Handful of things, guys. I don't do 1,000 things well. I do a handful of things 1,000 times over. I share the product. I get good at sharing the story. I'm a paid storyteller. Sell results, not ingredients. Nothing against the doctors. We got all this credibility, all this great research. But what am I talking about? I love the product. Here's what it's done for me. Here's what it's done for others. Results, not ingredients. The stories or the research is there. So you're selling those results, not those ingredients. But what am I doing consistently? Sharing the product, sharing the opportunity, sharing the mission, building relationships, building these relationships, building for an event. One event into the next. You have an event like this. Now there's a conference call on Monday night. Then you roll it into this event and that event. And then what's the last thing that I do? Or the other thing that I do is I learn to master major impending events. Now, what does that mean, major impending events? How do you master them? Conference. Conference is our Juice Plus Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. You know who's there? All the top producers, all the up-and-coming stars, all the doctors, all the corporate, all the new people. Conferences are powerful. I have built my business, Lauren, over the last 28 years by bringing people to conference, getting them there. A freshman class, they're excited. They take it all in, and they leave with a PhD in Juice Plus and direct sales. They're flying so high, I don't need a plane to get home. Right? Conference. It's a non-negotiable paying activity. Get that in your notes. Non-negotiable. Conference is not a should, it's a must. And it starts with you booking your non-refundable ticket. It starts with you, like Joy, the example of booking all the tickets and rooms and saying, all right, I'm going to fill this. I'm going to make this happen.